Time to bring your business now, and Sandra Peno is here. Hello, Sandra.
Hello. I asked the last time whether you were affected by the
No, I
MTN
wasn't.
billing. You were not.
No.
I was affected after that.
Sorry about it. So you have your bonus back?
No, I don't have it yet,
Oh,
and that's what
sorry
the
about that.
NCA
Okay.
is taking
You
action
take care of
again.
it.
Good evening, I'm Sandra Esinam. Afeno, let's do business. The National Communications Authority, NCA, has justified its sanction on telecommunication giant MTN. The regulator imposed a 100,000 cedi fine on MTN for what it describes as breach of service protocol, although MTN is blaming the current billing challenges on the timing and implementation of the Communication Services Tax. NCA is actually saying that they failed to comply, among other things, with directive to reimburse affected customers. Director, Consumer and Corporate Affairs of the NCA, Nana Difi Badu, has been speaking to Joy Business.
Initially, a lot of people thought that the operator had increased tariffs, and people were complaining about the rate of tariff increase, that it was too high. So the NCA decided to take a closer look and then do some investigations. And on doing the investigations, we realized that it looks like the operator was probably facing some challenges with regards to billing. In addition to that, we also got complaints from consumers that some of them were not able to get through to the customer care centers of MTN when they call the customer care line 100, the short code 100. And as is usually done, or as is required, if there is a service disruption, whether planned or unplanned, service providers are required to inform the NCA and also to inform their subscribers who they are supposed to give service to. So after doing our monitoring and waiting, NCA did not get any information or any notification whatsoever from the service provider that they were facing some service challenges. Interestingly, on our monitoring, we realized that it was quite late, I think on Monday evening, that MTN put something on their online platform apologizing to consumers. So after monitoring the situation, the authority decided to take this up a notch, because we believe that if you have a license, you're supposed to meet the obligations of that license and also ensure that consumers get the service for which they have paid. That's what prompted the NCA to write to MTN. The letter was requesting them to resolve the challenge with immediately, report back to the NCA and let us know what they were doing to ensure that that particular challenge would not happen again. In addition to that, they were also directed to ensure to refund all losses that affected consumers had faced. So if someone bought a bundle and was due to receive a certain service or benefit, they should ensure that the subscriber got that benefit back. And to compensate the consumer as well, they were also directed to do that. And the last thing was that we also wanted to get a report from the operator detailing all these things, and they were required to send their report within a certain time frame. Unfortunately, the deadline passed, and we still didn't hear anything from MTN. And as we put in our first letter, the NCA was compelled to issue sanctions.
In other news tonight, companies operating under the Ghana Free Zones Act, which allows them to export about 70% of their goods to the international market, have been assured of government support under the Continental Free Trade Agreement. According to the Chief Executive of the Ghana Free Zones Authority, Michael Otribefi, the decision by government to sign on the deal is to help industries and export businesses to maximize their earnings. Michael Befi was addressing members of companies at their quarterly meeting in Accra.
The last quarter meeting, which is expected to give Free Zones companies an opportunity to engage the chief executive, was focused on the implementation of the much talked about Continental Free Trade Agreement and its implication on Ghanaian industries. The companies were taken through the necessary laws and conditions within which countries must trade. According to the Chief Executive of Ghana Free Zones Authority, Michael Otribefi, government is putting in mechanisms to ensure that Free Zones companies become the major beneficiaries of the agreement.
We are creating the opportunity for them. I mean, the market is big. We're talking about 1.2 billion market. We are talking about 3 trillion GDP. See, the opportunity, investment opportunity is going to be enormous. Every country is taking advantage of it. So we, as a regulator, what we can do is to create the ambience for them. regulatory ambience, make sure that they have the opportunity to meet people or to link them up to businesses outside the country in Africa that will be willing to do business with our company. I'm talking about the companies operating under the free zones. So we are doing a lot. Sensitization, creating the business opportunity, and making sure that the legal framework will suit the interests of the free zones companies operating under the free zones. So we are here to help them succeed as far as the African Continental Free Trade Agreement is concerned.
Mr. Ochibefi added that there will be more sensitization for exporters on the free trade agreement.
Exporters are going to be the most beneficiaries of this policy, but the free zones companies are supposed to be the beneficiaries of this concept. That has come mostly for the free zones, and every country is expecting the free zones to take advantage of this. And we believe that we should not sit down for other exporters to take advantage, whereas the free zones company that is supposed to be the owner of AFTA to sit down and enjoy the latter. So we decided to have this meeting, sensitization meeting for them, just to sensitize them on the need to even position themselves to take advantage of the concept. That is why we organized this meeting.
Ebenezer Sabotage report for Joy Business.
The International Air Transport Association has signed an MOU to deepen the collaboration between Ghana and the organization to support the sustainable development of Ghana and the air transport system. The collaboration is expected to make Ghana one of the best when it comes to aviation safety on the continent. There's more in the following report.
Currently, Ghana does about 3 million passengers a year. Projections by IATA shows that the country has the potential of growing by 6.1% annually, which translates into 8 million passengers by 2038. At the signing of a memorandum of understanding at the ministry, the Minister for Aviation, Joseph Kofi Adda, stated that IATA's plan to establish an office in Ghana will give the youth the opportunity to study and upgrade their knowledge in the aviation industry.
IATA is a very big organization that works with about 290 airlines, and they handle about 80% of passengers, and they have a wealth of information in terms of data, in terms of what policymakers would need to design good policies for their nations. We are pleased to have them here today because setting up a branch here would put us very close to the outfit that can guide us on the sort of things we need to know to be able to develop our policies. For instance, what is going on with cargo, the pricing, the shipment, the volumes, that we can get relatively quickly from IATA. Even the airlines themselves, the passenger travels, the pricing, the payments, the settlement systems, any constraints, any problems with them, IATA will be here to help us to resolve that as quickly as possible. They also come with a wealth of experience in terms of helping to build capacity. And so if Ghanaian young men and women are exposed to what IATA does, and they can develop their interest in that area and train themselves and find jobs through IATA. IATA most likely may not have the jobs themselves here because it's a very small organization, but then they can network with their global outfits and put the young men and women who have built up some specialist knowledge in certain areas to access those jobs.
Head of Account Management for West and Central Africa, Samson Fatokun, said the partnership is timely for Ghana's development.
And this agreement is to help deepen the relationship between the government of Ghana and IATA with the view of increasing the impact of aviation, the positive impact of aviation on the economy of Ghana, the social life of Ghanaians, and also help to create jobs going through this. So that's in the nutshell, the overview of what we are doing today. It comes in operational steps. So I'm not going to give you some operational steps. That will be, you have some part of it. But in a nutshell, IATA has come to support the growth of aviation in this country with the benefit on the economy and the social life of the people of Ghana.
Fred Duhos reports for Joy Business.
That's all for business for now. I am Sandra Esinamaka, and I'll surely be back after 8 p.m. with more business.